Donald Trump, the President of the United States of America, arguably the position which entitles the occupant of this chair to be described as the most powerful, the most influential person around. Is that the reason why Donald Trump repeatedly has been making statements, changing his policies versus other countries? Because he wants to prove his dominance in a new world order? And therefore, should we say that actually the impact, the influence of US presidency has dwindled down over the last few years? Let's try and break down the story of Donald Trump and his second presidency for you. What is he really trying to do in the context of India? First, it started off with his great desire of claiming victory for the ceasefire between India and Pakistan. Now, I'm willing to concede, folks, that it is indeed possible that Donald Trump may have offered something to India and Pakistan in terms of trade, in terms of business. But political maturity and political sagacity would show that President Trump would have used his position, the chair on which he sits, to actually ensure that the ceasefire between the two countries becomes a permanent ceasefire, rather than trying to get involved in this, you know what, I broke the story first. Literally like a breaking news phenomenon, isn't it? Then look at what he's attempting to do when it comes to foreign students going to the United States of America. There was a notice which came up recently, which was issued by the United States consulate to foreign students who are planning to go to the United States to study this year. What does it say? If you are planning to skip a class, if you have not informed your school, then do bear in mind, not only can your admission be cancelled, your visa can be in a jeopardy for all times to come. The very basis of America as this great land of liberal thinking, free values, open, evolved thinking, that somewhere I think is being challenged by President Trump. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to consistently make statements which make all of us wonder that had we really got the Trump fascination with India story all right? After all, it was 2019, immediately after Narendra Modi had come to power, when he said, "Ab ki baar Trump sarkar."
India-US friendship. India-US friendship.
Didn't President Trump also visit Gujarat just as a symbol of the kind of bonhomie which we all thought existed between him and the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi? Now, in his second stint as president, Donald Trump wants Tim Cook not to produce in India.
And I had a little problem with Tim Cook yesterday. I said to him, "Tim, you're my friend. I treated you very good. You're coming in with $500 billion, but now I hear you're building all over India. I don't want you building in India."
Donald Trump wants a free trade agreement with India. Donald Trump wants an equal trade business with India. Now, it is entirely plausible that there could be a new, let's say, foreign trade agreement which could be worked out between the two sides. But why this insistence of rewriting the rule book when it comes to his relationship with India? This was a question which was raised against the foreign minister, and he did give a very cryptic answer. Where was the United States in the context of the conflict between India and Pakistan? And his response was that, well, the United States was where it should be, which is the United States of America.
But the ceasefire, the cessation of firing and military action was something which was negotiated directly between India and Pakistan. We made one thing very clear to everybody who spoke to us, not just United States, but to everybody, saying, look, if the Pakistanis want to stop firing, they need to tell us.
Now, let's look at whether Trump's fascination with Make America Great Again, and let's bring in all the manufacturing back to America from other countries like India, will it end up making the business itself unviable? Because look at this chart for a moment. In this chart, you see the volume or the value of wages which are being paid to workers across the world. And now compare it with the number which exists for the United States of America. So while I'd certainly want people in the US to, well, make more money, live happily ever after, much like we expect people in India, but if the gap between a wage which is being paid to someone for consuming an American product being assembled in India, but being consumed in America itself, if the gap in the cost of production is going to be so high, the business is going to be unviable. Maybe that's the reason why President Trump's ratings, his approval ratings, are also now consistently sliding from a high of 88%, according to Pew Research, down to 75%. Some of his most critical supporters in various ethnic groups are also now slowly beginning to wonder, have we made the right choice? But all along, President Trump continues to hammer away, whether it's taking sharp questions in the context of Israel-Palestine or in the context of India-Pakistan. Just take a look at this. And all this fancy with trying to rewrite the rule book for President Trump has created a scenario where Elon Musk himself has now decided to move away from President Trump. Musk put this statement up on X saying that now his term with the US government was coming to an end. And I started thinking about the statement which was made by Elon Musk the first time when he took over as the head of the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE.
The overall goal here with the DOGE team is to help address the enormous deficit.
He wanted officers in FBI and CIA to give him a weekly report, which is a kind of a done deal in corporate circles. And there was a lot of criticism which was leveled against Elon Musk at that point of time. And he'd said, if you want to make America great again, well, you got to tell what have you done in the week gone by. So if Musk himself has now walked out of Trump's presidency, do we say that all those great moves which were on the table, less government, maximum governance, less involvement with NGOs, with educational institutions, let's spend this money on public welfare, were all those just mere election slogans? Because you know what, we've seen that in India on multiple occasions. This great desire of creating new acronyms for political benefits is an old templated playbook in India. Donald Trump in that sense, or Elon Musk, were perhaps only taking inspiration from India.
I noticed that the benefits of certain government schemes, especially welfare programs, were being exploited by so many people who never even existed in real life. There were ghost names, pensions being issued to fake people. Widow pensions were being granted even before marriages took place, and disability pensions were given without any real disabilities. Then I launched a scrutiny process, and you'll be shocked to know what we found.
Musk's departure, Trump's collapse as far as his approval ratings are concerned, and not some big-ticket, heavy-duty investment other than, of course, what we saw from Saudi Arabia. We've not really seen Trump shaking the entire American business ecosystem like he intends to.
Did you warn Prime Minister Netanyahu against taking some sort of actions that could disrupt the talks there in a phone call last week?
Well, I'd like to be honest. Yes, I did. Next question, please.
So what goes on in the great American Trump show? Well, you can keep watching thesquirrels.in for all the latest on that.